This podcast is brought to you by Rebecca Kearsells of the Rising Dawn series. Do you like violence? Do you like smut? Are you tired of the stereotypical novels of werewolf romance out there and want something a little bit different? Then pick up Sparked Revolution, Book 1 in the Rising Dawn series by Rebecca Kearsells. Available on Amazon, in Kindle, and paperback. You too can become a sponsor of Stories, The True and the Fictional by heading on over to buymeacoffee.com/STTATF or follow the link in the show notes. Hello guys and welcome to a brand new episode of Stories, The True and the Fictional, the indie author podcast supporting indie authors from quite literally all around the world. I am one of your hosts, Jay O'Brien, and with me always is our resident reader, Ryan. How are we going, Ryan?
Living the dream, man. Living the dream. Not much has been done this week. I did get a chance to watch the Bone Temple, 28 Days Later Bone Temple. 28 Years Later Bone Temple. That was very good. I got a chance to watch that. As we discussed yesterday, we both have seen the first two episodes of the Scrubs continuation. I really enjoyed it, but I know there was one big thing that you weren't happy with, Jamie.
Yeah, and I got to talk to the creator about it. How funny is that?
That was pretty awesome when I saw that.
That was, yeah, because I posted, look, I loved it except for one thing. I'm not sure about this one thing that they did. And then I wake up to like a bazillion comments and then like Bill Lawrence himself going, well, this is why we did it. I'm just like, what? Yeah. What world am I living in?
So yeah, that would have been a nice surprise for you yesterday morning.
Yeah, I think he's almost convinced me to keep watching again though. So all those angry people that go, you don't know what you're talking about, you're not a real fan, can calm down.
And like I said, I haven't watched the entirety of the first iteration. I only ever got to end of season 3. So I definitely enjoyed it. It's still got the same humor as the original.
Yeah,
100%. It's JD and Turk, Zach Braff and Donald Faison, they just play off each other so well. It feels like they really are best friends.
Yeah, well, they are.
So yeah, that's very good. If you want to check it out, if you're in Australia, it is on Disney Plus. If you're in America, it is on Hulu. I don't know about you British people, but you can work it out for yourself. Check it out. But yeah, other than that, just been playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. I'm almost finished it. And just continuing to live the dream, reading indie books. Finished Matt Waterhouse's Bleeding Concrete, his horror novella. That was really, really good. Really sadistic and one man's descent into madness is the best way to describe it. So I recommend you jump on that if you are a fan of horror. So yeah, that's me this week.
Excellent. Well, guys, remember to check out our sponsors, Rebecca Kearsells and Martin Kearns. Their links are down below, but also the links down below are for our honorary sponsors, Janelle Schiecke and Alexander Robb. Check their stuff out too. Check out our merch, buy Ryan's shirt, because he really wants you to live the dream as well. But,
if I have to keep telling you by now, just buy it. I'm gonna get, I don't like plugging my own stuff, but just please buy my shirt.
If you don't, I'll make a shirt that says Ryan. It has a picture of Ryan saying, please buy my shirt. And that'd be...
Yeah, do that. And then I can just hold that up and just not have to talk as much.
Yeah. All right, let's get the ball rolling. Today's guest, Jessica Barberi, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
How are things in your neck of the wood? I hear that you may give birth during this episode. Are you that close?
I mean, it's very possible. Anytime now.
That'll get our views up for sure.
Yeah.
If I make faces at you, it's not personal. It's probably getting kicked. So
are you in a rolling chair?
I'm in a normal chair right now.
Oh, okay.
It's Saturday, so the fortunate thing about a Saturday for me is that I have not had to sit in many chairs like this, so I'm doing pretty good.
I was just saying, like, if you could just roll off screen if you want, you just exit stage.
Yeah, just roll off screen, give birth, and then come back and finish the interview if you could. That'd be great.
You know, the crazy thing is, I'm one of those people that kind of go that fast sometimes. So.
Cool.
Oh wow.
Excellent.
Awesome. No, well, we do hope that you don't give birth on this episode because it's it's something you want to be prepared for and something you want to do in a hospital or wherever you choose to do it. But hopefully not live on the air. Well, we're not live, so
Oh, no.
Jamie could always edit it out.
Yeah.
Could, but why would you?
Why?
Exactly.
Views, man,
Exactly.
views. That would go viral. Yeah, but
Yeah.
before we get too far in, the question we always like to ask first is, who is Jessica Barberi?
So I am an IT professional with soon to be 4 children who somehow managed to write themselves 7 whole novels and is working on number 8. So that's essentially me. I live in the Midwest of the United States, Great Lakes state of Michigan, and um, we have a little farming homesteady thing where we have chickens and horses and ducks and stuff. So I've dabbled with sheep and other things as well, but not right now. But yeah, I mean that's me in a nutshell.
How do you fit all of that into 24 hours a day?
That's a good question. I don't, so yeah.
So
You do what you can do.
being an IT professional, my background is I studied in university computer science with all intentions of becoming an IT professional. And then there's not really that many jobs in Australia that are not based right in the heart of the city, which is just horrible for public transport and everything. So, do you get the luxury of working from home a lot, or are
I
you
do.
excellent? Yeah,
Yes, that
yeah.
that that has been I've been working from home before it was cool to work from home. So I'm in a home office of some variety for probably like 10 years at this point.
Oh, wow.
Um, and you could probably it would take a monumental effort to get me back into an
Mm,
office somewhere because I don't like it.
yeah.
Yeah. I find all us nerds generally like to work in solidarity. We don't like me personally, I am probably the one exception. I studied at uni for 4 years, university for 4 years, paid a lot of money, and then never used my degree for anything professional because I started doing customer service while I was in university to pay the bills and ended up absolutely loving customer service. So I stayed in that department. But most of my friends that do IT, they generally they're very introverted people.
Yeah, I think that that's a fair categorization. Like I'm perfectly happy. My current project manager likes to set meetings up where we're like supposed to work together, and I hate
Yep.
that. I'm like, I just want
Yeah.
to like tell
Do
me
your
what needs to
thing.
get done, give
Yeah.
me a due date, and it will
Mhm.
get done. I'll
Yeah.
hand it off. I don't need
Exactly.
to sit on this meeting with 6 other people to like I get it, they want to ask questions and stuff, but it's distracting to me. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
just my
That's
and you know
preference.
what? That the prime definition of this meeting could have been an email because if they can just put it
That
all in an email, send it to you, you can get it done.
not gonna disagree with that.
now you know the hell of my current job. I'm glad this is a temporary job. I'm a fill-in for until they find someone else. But it's like they're very, very, we want you to know everything about the company. So we have like
Mm,
3 meetings a week, and they, I think, and there's one big one a month where they bring in and they go, oh, like these are our numbers for them. Oh, we need to improve here. Oh, we need to do this. And then, oh, we have 3 champions of the month. Oh, now they all get to spin a wheel and they get a prize. Um,
Oh boy.
and then everyone claps. And we're going like, I'm at the back because I always sit at the back. And I'm just like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
yeah,
and you
just
just want to get on with it
yeah.
and do
I'm
your
just like,
job.
I just want to do my job, which is fast, which is a 2-man job anyway. And it's just like I've got work to
Yeah,
do. I don't want to sit here. I don't understand all these terms. You know.
yeah. That's customer service all over, man. Pretty much every job I've had, we have daily meetings,
Yeah.
and they only go for like 15 minutes, and I'm standing there going, you know what, I could be doing a lot of work in these 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Really could.
I
Yep.
love I love it when they're production. We need to pick up our production. We're a bit slow today. I'm going like we're here.
Let's have 6 more meetings.
Let's have
Get them on
Yeah,
the calendar.
exactly,
That'll
exactly.
help.
yeah. And yeah, they're obsessed with where every dollar is going. So they make you um keep track of everything, and it just that takes so much time to, and it takes you're spending more money to find out where the money's going. Yeah, just it's
It doesn't make sense, but that's
doesn't.
management for you. They just need to find things to do to fill their days because they
Yeah.
don't do anything. They just
Mm.
get paid to look like they're doing things.
Yeah.
So that's just what management do, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
anyway, this is not the customer service podcast. This is the podcast about books and indie authors and reading awesome books.
mhm.
So
Let's get to these icebreakers. I can't remember.
yeah,
It must be me,
I
you
it's
going
my
this
turn
time
this
because I
time.
always
Yeah, my
forget.
turn this
When I
time.
forget, it's you.
Yeah, that's all good. I keep track of these things. Okay, so what we're going to do, Jessica, is I'm going to set the scene for you. All right, we live in a almost perfect world. So there's no world hunger. There's no cruelty to animals or people. There's no wars. Everyone's peaceful. Our politicians actually do and say what they mean, and they're nice about it. So pretty much, and no one has to worry about money. Everyone has the exact same amount of money in their bank account all the time. So yeah, everyone is on the same social economic bracket. Given that we live in this almost perfect world, what is something that you would like to get rid of?
Oh, I mean, like you made it sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're
Well,
getting too many people saying like the Miss Universe answers. So we're like basically we're looking for your pet peeves. So what is something that really
drives you up the
annoys
wall.
you that you want to get rid of?
Yeah.
oh gosh, let's say like passive aggressive passive aggressivity. Like I
Mhm.
can't do that. Like don't just tell me it's straight, man.
Yeah.
Like that's my mother-in-law, sometimes my own mother.
Isn't it just all mother-in-laws that are just
I think yeah,
insane?
I just I am a very give me a straight, like I don't even care if it's not nice. Like if
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just
100%.
honest. Like don't give me the oh bless your heart kind of
Yeah.
yeah,
indirect thing where you want something, you clearly want something, or you're clearly not happy, but you're not going to
Mhm.
tell me that you're not happy, but just straight answers. Everybody has to give straight answers to stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I'm
This
laying
is
down.
couldn't agree more. I really like I hate long stories. I hate when people take so long to get to the point. Like I'm literally the bullet points. It's like I don't want to go to a seminar. I had to go to a seminar yesterday. I'm sitting there going, you could just give me the bullet points. That'd be great."
Yeah. Let's just get
Just
this out of the
boom,
way.
boom, boom,
Like
boom, boom. Okay, I need to know that. Thank you. Bye. Like,
you messed up. What are we gonna do about it? All
yeah,
right, I got that.
yeah, exactly. Direct. Don't be afraid. I mean, you don't have to scream at people and be mean, but
No.
just speak. All right.
Yeah.
Question number 2. What's something on your bucket list?
So this is one thing that I really want to do, but I got to stop having so many babies to do it. But I want to actually dive one of the Great Lakes shipwrecks. So
Oh,
the Great Lakes have some very well preserved shipwrecks because of the lack of salt in the water, and they don't have like
yeah.
some of the organisms that break down the wood. So you can actually see boats from like the 1800s, the 1700s still intact mostly.
Hmm.
And some of them are very fairly accessible. And I have no diving
Experience.
experience
Yeah.
beyond in high school. They brought in like things, and I spent the entire uh it was like a senior all night party. They brought in the dive stuff, and I
Yeah.
spent the entire time at the bottom of the deep end of the pool picking up earrings. Like,
Hmm.
so that's the extent of my experience. So I would have to learn stuff, but I
Yeah.
would love to do that. I think it'd be so cool.
Like that. I think that's pretty awesome thing to have. Pretty awesome thing to have on your bucket list.
Could
I
be
think
a,
that's
a
Yeah.
that
family
would be
holiday.
amazing.
You could do a
Yeah.
family holiday in the future. You all go down. You
Yeah, I got to
your
get the
kid,
kids
your
old
kid.
enough, and
Yeah.
before I get too old, I guess.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, question number 3 is our
Oh,
favorite question. Jamie's going to bring up a visual aid.
yes.
And so this will be a monument in your wonderful country that you probably will be very familiar with, the Mount Rushmore, which is 4 very influential, important presidents with Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and George Washington
Ooh, he
in no
paused on
particular
George
order.
Washington.
Yes. So given that that they're the former influential presidents of the time of the monument, what is on your Mount Rushmore of TV shows? So what four TV shows do you love, are something that you can rewatch? It can be any genre, any era, it can be anime, real life, whatever it is. Just let us know what your TV shows are.
I'd say for my number one show, most influential to me, probably personally, is Farscape. I love Farscape.
Mm.
Hmm.
I could
I
watch that
like,
over and
yeah,
over and over again. Um,
yeah,
Maybe next X-Files.
yeah,
I'm gonna go with
definitely.
Breaking Bad,
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
and then I might go with like Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh,
Okay.
But you
we
can
get all
see
that.
that I have a certain leaning towards, I guess, the sci-fi. That's probably where
And yet you write fantasy. Interesting.
I write fantasy, but yeah, I grew up on
Trekkie.
marinating in sci-fi.
Yeah. I do like me some sci-fi. Was never a huge fan of Star Trek, but it was the dinner time show. It's like,
Just
do you
always
want do
on.
you want
Yeah,
to eat? Do you want to eat? Star Trek's on. Yeah.
I grew up, yeah, it was like background for me, and I watched it, I again, like I grew up with it kind of in the background. I was a little too little to like pay attention,
Yep.
and then I watched it as an adult again, and I guess, I have an appreciation for the world that was created, and like,
Mm.
you know, and
Yeah,
now
no,
I can lament the desecration of its corpse in the
Yeah.
modern retellings.
well, we get look, we have had Star Trek Next Gen and Breaking Bad quite a bit.
Yep.
They seem to be pretty iconic for for a lot of people that we have on. Farscape is something that I have not seen. I'm not a massive sci-fi guy, but I've heard good things about Farscape. And absolutely love the X-Files. I've watched it many, 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 many times, so I can definitely jump on board with that for you. But yeah, that I think they're pretty good answers for the Mount Rushmore of your favorite TV shows.
Mm. Excellent. Well, what's your zombie apocalypse plan? I mean, you're pretty far out on a farm, so you like do nothing.
So, well, I mean, this one's fun for me because I actually feel like we're pretty well set.
Yeah.
So, my husband has a very special skill, and I find it to be something that would be very serviceable in the scenario of a zombie apocalypse. And it's not like he's Bert with the guns and he's
Yeah.
gonna shoot everything, but he's like the most social person I know and is so good at making friends with basically anybody. So I'm pretty sure that like as long as we can, we do have the firearm capacity to keep the
Yeah.
zombies at bay, but we could also have the social constructs required to keep ourselves hopefully alive just by being able to, not be on the bad side of
Yeah.
anybody. So that's my plan is like I'm highly dependent on, his good social graces to
Yeah.
be able to keep us alive and fed. And
Yeah.
then yeah, firepower. So
Sounds like he could talk down the zombies and like nothing to see, and the
I'm just
zombies just
like
flying away.
because the thing about you got zombies, right? But
Yeah.
like everybody's also like there's the no agriculture, there's everybody starving,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the chaos that breaks down in
Yeah.
the society around you
Yeah, that's the threat,
that I don't
really.
have to. I feel like I could
Yeah.
get with his friendliness, I could get
Yeah.
away with.
Yeah.
Awesome. I like that plan. That's very, very good. I like it. Okay. All right. Question number five for the icebreakers. So Dr. Emmett Brown leaves his DeLorean parked in your driveway. What do you do and where do you go?
So I feel like I'd be one of those people that want to. I don't want to go back anywhere. Like I don't know. Like I don't. I have terrible eyesight. I wear
Mm.
contacts. I would be too afraid of getting cholera or not being able to see anything. So I'm not going back anywhere. So I'd have to go to the future. But it's like a matter of how far in the future. Like I don't want to necessarily go like, you know, Back to the Future one where you're just right, in your own lifetime. I'd want to go
Yeah.
beyond my lifetime. Like what is it really in the next like 200 years. Like, do we
Mm.
get out of this mess?
Yeah.
Has civilization completely collapsed? Am I going to like a whole world of a planet of, animals and there's no more people? It'd be very
Yeah.
interesting to see.
Mm. Yeah. No, we get that a few
I like
times. We either get the history buffs that go, "Oh, I want to see this," or the people that go like future.
Yeah, I'm going to the future because I have better odds in the future of, I could, I mean, again, there could be no civilization left and I could
Yeah.
still get cholera and die. So
Yeah.
you
Very
don't
good.
quite know.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we plowed through those icebreakers. So
I'm
I
efficient.
think yeah, we're efficient. So I think that's you just wanted to get to the good stuff. So as they always said on Mirthquake, what's your author origin story?
So my author origin story is definitely unconventional, and I find it fun because it's like the timeliness of the like do authors need to read stuff. Um, so I actually started writing because my son was having trouble reading.
Okay.
He's dyslexic, and when we were trying to teach him, we obviously didn't know that, but we were struggling through trying to teach him phonics and sounding out
Mm,
words and stuff, and he was just struggling. Now, my own story is one where I also was identified young as having reading struggles, and the experience I had in public school was that I ended up hating reading. And I actually like rebelled against it almost, where it was like, I don't want to read anything because you
mm,
guys are telling me that I'm dumb and bad at this, and I don't really understand why, and you're pushing me and I don't like it, and I didn't want that for my son. Like,
yeah.
so when I
Mhm.
started to see him struggle, it was like, oh no, like this could be a repeat where he's going to have that same kind of frame of mind that I went through a lot of my childhood with, where I didn't like to read, I didn't want to read, it was evil to me. And I didn't want that for him. Like, I wanted him to be like, my husband is a lit major, so he's big into reading and he has books all the time. And like, I wanted him to be more like that.
Mm,
Mhm.
So I had to figure out, like, what does this look like then for him? Because if it's going to be a challenge for him to read, what are we trying? Like, how do I show him that it's okay to like have that challenge and overcome that challenge and that the hard work is worth it? And part of it was like, okay, I want to immerse him in stories where the heroes of the stories have those things to overcome. Like, they're not just perfect. They have to struggle, they make bad choices, they like have to overcome something. Like, it's hard. Like, they have hardness. And in like middle grade fiction, or like a lot of the stuff that's coming out now, from what I was hearing from other people, from reviews from parents, a lot of it was like they're either chosen one, they're perfect, like they're
mm,
girls.
yeah.
And it was like, it just wasn't really resonating with me and him. So I was like, okay, well, what would a character look like? And I started to just think that through. So I was like, all right, the character that I would want would be like this, and this might be the struggles that he has to go through. And this is like I started to build him in my head.
Mm,
And then I got the idea where it was like, well, what if I kind of write some of these ideas down and I just start to like tell a little story about this? And then the idea spun from there. It was like, well, what if I show him that you could do hard things? Like, as I started to write, and I was like, I'm actually writing something. Well, I can show him that you can do hard things by like writing a whole book. Like, that's pretty
yeah.
hard. So I wrote a story, and it's not exactly for like children, I would say,
Mm,
though he has listened to the story. Um, but it was something that it came out of that. It came out of this desire to give my son a hero that I thought embodied the values that I wanted him to take to do hard things in his own life.
mm.
So that's where it came from. And then I discovered I really liked it. And then I got brain parasites that
Yeah.
made me not want to stop. So
Yeah.
here I am now.
That's awesome. I was much the same. I hated reading as a kid. Absolutely hated it. Um,
Yeah.
to the point where like my parents would buy me any book. It didn't matter if it wasn't suitable for children. Just like it's like
If you
here,
will read this.
you're 11, 12 years old. Here's Jurassic Park, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm going, and I literally just remember reading the scene where Dennis Nedry gets eaten in the car because in the movie they go like car shake scream.
Yeah,
In the
it's
book they're
fade to
like,
black.
this is what happens. This is what I'm going. I'm reading it, going, why are my parents letting me read it? This is awesome. Because it's so graphic. Oh,
Yeah, I think for him, like he's big into horror. Like
wow.
he loves horror stuff, and I'm like, oh
Hmm.
man, like I know that this is probably where we're gonna end up having to go with him. Like if I want him to read, like he just loves this horror stuff, and I'm like, oh god, it's not my
Yeah.
thing, but okay.
Well, Ryan's saying, tell him about the Dark Veil Society.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lots of good books there.
Yeah. No, I like spooky books as a kid. I really
yeah,
like. I don't like full horror, but I like creepy. Um, because all the Goosebumps books were great
Hmm.
yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah, I just started. I gave him one of those the other day, and I was like, "We're just gonna crack out these old. We found one at a library sale. We're gonna crack crack this old Goosebumps open.
Mm.
See if you can get into that."
Excellent.
Awesome. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Goosebumps. I mean, especially for, that was my introduction into horror
Yeah,
as a young kid. So yeah, Goosebumps, R.L. Stein, that was the thing when we were kids. And that kind of evolved, and then I moved on to, some of the more adult titles when I was in high school. Yes, but you can't go wrong with anything there. I mean, there's it's a lot different from when, Jamie and I were young. There wasn't as much. There was like three horror writers, and that was pretty much it. And now you have
yeah,
such a wide variety of choice because of, the Amazon and what they've done for indie authors in relation to self-publishing. So there's a lot more to choose from nowadays.
absolutely.
No, I was more oblivious back then, Ryan. It's just like I barely read anything. Um, I think I read like I'd read like one or two pages. Like so, I tried to read books, but I'm just shiny red ball. Look at that, you know.
Yeah.
Um, it's hard to pin me down. But look, you've got a few series, and so I wanted to take a look at because a new one came out recently, correct? Yes.
That's correct. That's
Yes.
correct.
So I figured we'd focus on that series, and
Absolutely.
hopefully people would take interest in that, and then move on to other stuff. But I did pre-show prep, so I'll bring up both covers, and then we can talk away. So the one on the right is this book two, if I'm remembering correctly,
Correct. Yep.
in the series. Yeah. Um. So do you want to talk about the series? Does Ryan have questions about,
Absolutely.
or do we want to talk about the cover artist first, Ryan, or the hell our cover art came to be?
Yeah, yeah, we can talk about the cover art. So basically, I've had a look at all these books on Amazon. They look absolutely amazing. You can tell definitely. I know you've got two separate series running at the moment, and you can definitely tell, these books are part of that series. Did you go with the same cover artist, or did you do it yourself, or how did you
So
go about designing and getting those covers done?
yeah, so these two are the same cover artist. I actually stole from Russell Carroll, his Josh, the guy that did the second of his books.
All right.
Um, I to do a redesign for the first one because the first one was originally just like an AI cover, and it was way too dark, so I wanted to
Yeah.
get it redone and brighten it up and make it more eye-catching and have the human artist element to it.
Yeah.
And he did such a good job like bringing that scene to life. I just loved it. So I went back to him for the second, and I had this idea in my head, so I'll hopefully use him for all three, though I'm trying to chase the guy now, trying to get him to give me my audiobook cover because he sent me the wrong file
Oh
and he
wow.
hasn't sent it to me yet. So it is what it is. I'm not done and ready for that anyways, but yeah, he did a good job creating these like very character focused covers that I think speak to the stories.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. I love the cover art that you've got there. It's pretty awesome. Definitely you can feel the fantasy vibe. You can tell, like I said, that's part of the series. And yeah, that's what you want, especially, for some of the younger readers that might not know as much as experienced readers like us do. You want them to be easily identifiable as part of the series.
Yeah.
You want something that stands out, that jumps out, and a kid might pick it up and go, "Oh, I want this," and then end up, getting ingraining themselves within the series itself. So, yeah, I absolutely think they're they're very, very good, very eye-catching, and yeah, definitely you can tell it's a fantasy story right away, which is what you want.
And that's not
Yeah.
just because it's a dragon on the cover.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Oh,
does give it away though.
yeah. Cool. Um, so is dragon something you always wanted to do?
I don't know, like it's interesting because I don't know. I think it was because when I had got the idea to start writing, I had just finished the Inheritance cycle, or yeah, with Christopher Paolini's books.
Mhm.
And I had it in my head like how I would have wanted to do things differently. So that is kind of where I think the original genesis for this world came from, was having that fresh in my head and this idea of like, yeah, if I did a Dragon Rider type thing, it would be this way and I'd want
Hmm.
this and I'd want so that's kind of what happened with the world. It's not that I don't know, like I've always had a fascination with like I like fantasy worlds. I think the dragons are fascinating. Like one of the first things I did try and pick up before when I was a teenager is my dad loved the Dragon Riders of Pern. So he had all of the books and then he had like the actual like the book of the world, right? So like you
Hmm.
could sit there and
Yeah.
look through the different lore and the dragon types and all this stuff. And I used to sit there and draw them. Like so
Nice.
I don't know, it seemed like a natural kind of fun thing. I am an equestrian, I ride horses, so it's like, this idea of like dragon riding is kind of an extension of like
Yeah.
things that I know
Makes
in a
sense.
way. So I don't know.
That's it.
That this is kind of where it came from, but the world evolved and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm invested now as long as I stay there.
Well, why don't we talk about the building then? Like, I always like to ask, do you build a world around the characters, or do you build a world and then throw the characters into the world?
So I think for the most part, I had the concept for the world. And again, so this is a continuous. So my first series is 4 books. This is actually it can be read alone, but
Yeah.
it's a continuation in that same world. So I'll go back to the start just
Mm.
for the sake of I had an idea that I wanted to build something that was kind of like Soviet,
Mm.
like government system, like really
Yep.
oppressive. Um, so it did start with the idea of the world, but I also had the idea again for the character, like the
Mm.
kind of hero I wanted. So it was, I would say like a hybrid. Like I just threw them
Yeah.
together and
Yeah.
then mix and
Mhm.
see what happens. And this is very much the same because now you have a different kind of world where it's more of that noble bright. Like the
Mm.
world now is not so broken, but you're throwing this jaded character into it and trying to see like how do you survive and make yourself something. So mix and stir.
You telling me you put your characters through trials and tribulations that
I
make
mean,
them stronger and better for the experience and all that
well,
stuff?
the hope is that they end up stronger and
Yeah.
better, you
Ooh,
know.
who knows? Who knows? Yeah. So why don't you tell us a bit about the story? Well, like this series itself, like whose characters, what's the plot?
Yes. So the main character of this story is a prince named Ronan, and Ronan is the son of a legendary hero. And the whole point of the story is really an exploration of what is it like to be that? Like you are the son of a legend and
Mm.
you're going to, one day you'll be a king or something, but like
Yeah.
you're never going to be your father. Like you
Yeah.
can't achieve those things. And you've grown up with this lore of how awesome he is and you like him and I wanted to explore what that would do to somebody.
Yeah.
And it fits into the world because the world itself in the first series fell into this tyranny because the son of a good king decided to become a despot. So you
Mhm.
have now the son of a good king. Does he become a despot? And he has all of those qualities of like he's angsty teenager, but he's also kind of selfish and he's like so he's it was a fun series to write because the character himself is not likable. At least in the first book, he's
Yeah.
very much like I've had many people read it, and I think the people that appreciate him the most are parents of teenagers.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
honest to God, like they're like, I get it. Like
I get it.
he's very much just like a little bratty teenager that I just want to slap silly, but like, they can understand him in a way that I think some other people might not be able to. But he's, he's vain, he's selfish, he's
Mm.
like got a hero complex. He wants to be something. He's going about it all wrong, and he ends up stealing a dragon egg
Yeah.
because he was told he can't have a dragon. So he's like, I'm gonna make this happen, and the whole story is just like, what does it mean to be worthy? Like he's trying, he's got to learn how to actually be worthy, or if he can. Um, but I've sprinkled in there that the fun thing is like he's unlikable. He's the main character, but he's
Mm.
unlikable. But I've sprinkled in the likable characters. Like you like his father, and he
Yeah.
has a friend. He gets a friend, and you like the friend.
Yeah.
In fact, you probably like the friend better than him.
Mhm.
So, it's balanced, I think, where you're not just constantly in the head of somebody that you hate. You
Yeah.
have the perspective of the other people on the outside that are trying to figure him out or work with him or like be friends with him,
Mm.
and how he impacts them as well, which is I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So is it multi POV or
Yeah.
is it? Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah.
So each one of these have three points of view. So it's his father, him, and then Finn is the fisherman, becomes his friend, and then in the new one, it's him and a couple women that I actually pair him up with. So I have a like the point of view character of a 60-year-old woman. It's kind of fun to play. Mix
Awesome.
it up a bit, but yeah, very very character. They're not like they're not traditional epic fantasy, I would say. It's not like there's no Dark Lord, there's no like evil force or anything like that. It's really just about development of a person.
Mm.
So definitely a little different than
Yeah.
maybe what some people are expecting.
So like character driven, would you say?
Very
Like,
much, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. See, I
Well,
love,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, having something different to, I mean, there's a lot of fantasy out there, as I'm sure you're aware. So,
Yeah.
when you find something, when your stories are a little bit different, me as a, massive reader, when you find something that's got a different kind of take on the whole thing or a different way of telling the story, then to me that's more attracting me to that story as it is. So I mean, spoiler alert, I bought all the books this morning. So I'm looking
Excellent.
forward to delving into it, into all of them. But yeah, like at that I'm my two genres of books of literally fantasy and horror. And I'm always looking for something different. So yeah, that makes me excited to read them.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I almost call this story as almost like an anti-hero's journey.
Yeah. That's
Hmm.
cool.
Like, you have the chosen one, and he's not the chosen one. So it's
Yeah,
it's fun to like
he's the
deconstruct
chosen
this.
one at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, to himself. He
He
Yeah,
chose
wants
to
to be
himself,
very
exactly.
badly.
he chose himself.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But no, that
do you see an end to his arc? Like have you planned his whole arc?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's one more book that will come after this. It's called Burden of Fire. So, same kind of naming convention
Yeah.
along the lines of that, and that will kind of close up his story. And I'm about one chapter into that. I have not
Cool.
done a lot of writing
Mm.
recently. Between work and growing a little person, it's been very challenging, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to the fact that I have 12 weeks off of
yeah,
work,
Yeah.
to first weeks are not with a new baby, you don't really do much of anything, but by a month in or so, I should be able to actually make progress again and
Yeah.
write stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I have it mapped out. So I have plotted this story pretty well. Um, whereas the other one I didn't plot as much, which is kind of fun. It's fun to like I've done both now at this point.
Yeah, I tried to plot once, and then I accidentally deleted the outline.
Oops.
And I didn't care. I just didn't care. I was like, I was ignoring it. Like I kept writing and I kept pushing all the plot points back. And then I'm like, ugh.
I guess I'm just not into this.
Yeah, I just went delete by accident. I deleted something and then it deleted the whole thing because I had like a graph on there with all the chapters. You know, this happens, that happens, things to tweak, things to do, and then it's just like delete, gone, save. Wait, what? Where to go? Oh, well, I wasn't paying attention. I did
That
not.
was a sign. That was a sign telling you shouldn't plot.
Yes, I only plot in my head now, but pretty much. Um, yeah. So
But yeah,
what?
so you mentioned so the book that you're working on at the moment, is that going to be the last book in that series, or
Yes.
is it is okay? So you're going to wrap it all
Originally
up.
it was only supposed to be two books. Like I was thinking it was just one and two, but then I started to write the second one and I was like, I need more time to like develop
Yeah.
this dynamic and it's not it's darn it, it's the third book.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what happens.
Yeah. But trilogies are popular, you know.
But yeah, for sure. And it'll work. It'll make sense.
And then you can sell it in a bundle, and then you can do like the updated version. This is what I'm doing. I'm republishing old books as hardcovers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I see that you. So when I was talking about the two series, so you've got Fires of the Empire, and you've also got where's the other one? Sons of the
Sons of the
Flame.
Flame, yeah.
Sons of the Flame, yes. So are they both set in the same world, or are they completely
Yes.
different? Nothing to. Oh, they are set in the same world.
They are. So essentially the hero of the first is the father of, in the second.
Mm,
So
okay, okay. So one's kind of like a prequel to the other.
yeah.
Because I like that. I'm a big continuity person. If I like something in set in a particular world that it's in, I will consume everything
Everything.
that I
Yeah.
can from that world. So, whether it be TV show, video game, books, whatever that is. Yeah, so I like the fact that it's all in the same world, which just makes me, want to get into it and just find out everything I can about this world of fantasy that you've created.
Yeah, it's fun because so I have one other book that's a standalone in the same world but set in far in the past. So there's essentially like I've created this world where there's a religious faith and they revere the dragons. And so I have the origin story of like one of the books of the faith that is featured. So I wrote the main four book series, and there's they reference the book of the five, etc. Like so I did their origin story. I took
Yeah.
the book of the five and I did the five priests origin story, which was a lot of fun too. That's another one that's very character driven.
Yeah.
Um, but and I enjoy it. I don't know if there'll be anything after this because I don't know what is that. I've thought of like a little novellas or something to flesh out different things. Like my parents are like my number one. They'll read everything that I put out, which is
Mm.
great. Because I know a lot of people don't have that kind of support. But one of the things that my father was like, is like, I want to know more about like the politics, like I want to get because since I follow so close with with different points of view, and it's really
Mm.
from their perspective, they don't know like the broader politics all the time. So
Yeah.
you don't always you get pieces from other things. So I've thought of like maybe telling the story of like from the evil emperor's point of view,
Yeah.
like just different things like that, just to build out some of the other parts of the world.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
it's the dreaded when you the more you write in a world, the more ideas come, and the more, you know at least with me,
Recommendations from
yeah,
people.
yes. Hashtag Ryan.
Yeah, I
Hashtag
was going to say
Ryan.
you got that. Like I still insist that Jamie wrote a prequel to Ancora because I wanted to know more about everything. So I
Tell me
insist that
more.
I was behind that. I was
Yeah.
behind
N-
the creation of
now
that.
he wants a sequel to the prequel, and
I do.
our other friend Matthew Turner wants a
Once,
prequel to the prequel.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like,
Well,
slow
like
down.
you write in that world so well. I would take that as a compliment.
Yeah, oh no, I
People
do.
wanting
Yeah.
more.
But it's just time. It's just the time. I hate working full
Well,
Yeah.
time because I need money. It's just like, guys, pay me
Why can't I
money
just write?
to pay me money to do the podcast, pay me money to buy my books, you know, and then I
buy
can
James.
write full
Don't buy
time.
my shirt. Buy Jamie's book.
I got this one person that keeps messaging me and she's like, "Can I have it for free?" So she wants to read all my stuff, but she doesn't want to pay me money for it. It's just like,
Can I have this for free,
right.
please?
Oh, and sometimes I go, yeah, sure, no worries. Like she wants a copy of the novelette, The Gargoyle. I'm going like it costs
Hmm.
$3 to print. Like, it'll cost me 50 cents to post, I've got no problem with sending you a copy of, because we're in the same country and it's not America where it's like $42 to post it over to you guys.
Yeah, that's a
I mean,
different animal.
I think it takes a lot of, I don't know, like you put so much effort into writing these things and then
Yeah,
people just ask for them for free.
yeah,
I don't think that's, I mean, you know
yeah.
me, every single book you've written, I've offered to give you money.
Money, yeah.
And I paid for all of them bar,
Two.
the two you gave me yesterday,
Yeah.
which was one of the novelette and the hardcover for Wedding Night Trilogy. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't like that.
Yeah.
Of like
No.
you want to read it, you pay the like what is it, 99 cents?
Yeah, yeah, for the
Yeah.
ebook. Yeah.
Yeah, but mate, look, that could just be me, my old man side showing through
Yeah.
because I did turn 44 this year. So it could be like, get off my lawn, but pay for the book.
Pay the book. Yeah, 100%. Um, yeah, so you've mentioned you're working on the next book for this series, but is there anything beyond that? Like, are you going to be writing more in this world, or are you going to create a new world?
So I think I have an idea floating around in my head that's kind of like a different genre. I
Mm,
don't even know, like, I don't know if it's historical fiction or like adventure, like, but I have this idea that I've wanted to do of like an explorer type situation in like the Canadian wilderness. So
mm,
like this harsh kind of snowy type environment and the men that would go out into the frontier and try and make something of themselves. And I think that that would be a very interesting world. I have like a general thing that I don't know why this is fascinating to me, but this idea of brotherhood. So you'll see like a
mm.
lot of like positive male role models and brotherhood. And again, I think it comes from where my inspiration for writing came from my own children, my sons specifically. It's like we don't see so many, and I'm not saying they're not out there because they're probably out there just like in the indie community and I just
Yeah.
don't know them. I'm not plugged into it.
Mm,
But like in the modern publishing, what's coming out, I don't see these like really compelling stories of like brotherhood anymore.
mm.
Like where you have the group of men that are trying to like the different personalities, but they're supporting each other and they're like
Yeah.
there's no like weird romance stuff going on. It's like it's just their friends.
Yeah.
They're like so it fascinates me in thinking about that kind of thing. So that's in my head is something that I know I want to do at some point, I think. But that one, because it's of the historical nature of it, like
Yeah.
I'd have to do a lot more
Research.
homework.
Yeah.
The wonderful thing about fantasy is that like you
You
can
can make
just
it up.
you
Yeah.
make it up. Like you want a town, like you make the town up. Like
Yeah.
you need like I need boats. Like, I don't know, we can develop how far along they are in technology. Like,
Yeah.
there's things I've had to look up, but it's not the same as, like, okay, if I'm talking about, like, the Canadian frontier in, like, the 17, you know, 60s or something,
Yeah.
like, that's an actual time period. There were
Yeah.
actual places. There were, like, so you have less liberty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that intimidates me a little bit
Yeah.
to go into that kind of genre, but I'm at the same time it's like well but like the wilderness per se is not
Yeah.
necessary like
Yeah. You
if
don't have to
you're
research
outside of
trees.
like Yeah. I feel like, as long as you can get their clothing right and like the way
Yeah.
of talking to some degree, I don't know. So I'm a little intimidated by that, but it is something that I definitely have mapped out a little bit in my head as far as what the story would be and what I'm trying to tell.
Yeah.
Um, outside of the world. And then again, like I mentioned, I'm thinking there's a couple ideas that I have for like little novellas that I would be interested in maybe exploring. But another thing that I'm really interested in doing, and this is probably more on the top of the list once I finish this third book, is
Mm.
that I went to a conference and for whatever reason, like kids like moths to flames like my covers. So I get a
Dragons?
lot of parents, yeah, like that come over, and I would put my books somewhere like they're PG-13. They're not like
Yeah.
terrible, but they're not for like little kids. And then I get
Yeah.
these parents that are like, my 7-year-old or my 9-year-old is really, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I let my 9-year-old read it, but like that's me. And I'm cool to have a conversation about like suicidality and like
Yeah.
despot governments and all this. Like, I don't know that you want to do that.
Yeah.
So, um, I might not advise these books. And
Yeah.
then, so I was like, well, what would it be to like write a children's book? So, like, more middle grade type of a children's book, maybe in the same world, maybe not, but
Yeah.
I would like to do that because to some degree, I would like those at my table
Yeah.
to be able to say,
Mm.
this is not for you, but this you might find appealing.
Yeah.
So I have a couple like taking some more traditional like a boy and a girl type version of a
Yeah.
story. So it's like the I don't know. So I'm kicking those around too, but
Mm.
I feel like I need to. I'm a kind of person that like I really need to focus on the one thing,
Yeah.
or else my mind will go too many
Yeah.
different places, and it will be too hard to finish the one thing.
Yeah.
No, I
But
get it. I get it. Yeah.
that'd be a really good idea though, because you could write a more kid-friendly book, and then those kids are going to grow
Yeah,
up. They're going to grow up,
exactly.
and then they're going to go like, "I want to buy this. I'm old enough to buy this now. I'm old enough to read it." Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thinking ahead.
trying. Yeah,
Right.
there is a marketing aspect to this to try and sell stuff. But like I've seen, I think C.K. Chesterton, he did or Kesterton, he did, he has his Norse series, and then he
Yeah.
did this like Fortis book, which I read, and it's like, I think that's a great idea. It's like now he can go and he can pitch to the adults, and he's got a thing for kids, and it's just like a nice crossover.
Yeah. I've been meaning to get him on the podcast. We've got a massive ever growing list. It's annoying. Like I went through it last
Yeah,
night and going like 56 people.
it's a lot.
I'm just like I can't manage all this. So I'm starting to do multi people episodes just to get more people on. I tried to do Instagram live, but then suddenly they're like, "No, you're gonna have 1,000 followers."
Yeah,
Suddenly I'm going like, "Well, we don't have 1,000 followers." um, can't do that. But
I'm not that famous. Thanks though.
yeah, every time CK yeah, every time his name comes up, I always go to GK Chesterton. Like my brain reads
Yeah,
his name like that. I'm going, it's not that. It's just one of those names. Yeah, because I think is his one. I can't even remember the what it's called, but is it the green cover with the black bird?
yeah, the
Yeah,
the Raven.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Cool. Because I think we did him on our Wort series last year. So it's on our TBR. but that's cool. Um, well, we're gonna do a little new thing because I figured a lot of authors listen to this podcast. We're getting a lot of new authors listening to this podcast. So, do you have any advice for people out there who are starting out? Maybe they want to do an in-person event. Have you done any in-person events? Or
I have.
yeah,
Yeah, I definitely have advice for in-person events.
yeah,
Like, so the fun thing is that it's it's sometimes very depressing to try and make it online.
yeah,
But assuming that you live in an area that has human beings
mm,
occupying it,
yeah,
there are opportunities to actually sell your books out in public. And
yeah,
if you can be unconventional, you can actually get like, you can do really well. Like I've gone to like a farmer's market and
mm,
sold more books at the farmer's market in one day than I sold
yep,
online that whole month. And it's
yep,
great. It makes you feel good.
yeah,
Like you make more money on them typically because of uh
yeah,
the markup. And you also make inroads within your community. So people like to support a local author.
Yeah.
That's one thing. So if you go to something like a craft show or a farmer's market or like a maker's market, whatever it is, they're typically fairly inexpensive to get a space. It does take setup, so you need to like have a tent and a table and a
Yeah.
chair and all this stuff like that. So, make the investment, but sit your butt down there.
Yeah.
And your pitch is that you're the local author. Hey, I wrote these.
Yeah.
Seems to get a lot of eyeballs turned more so than, when they walk by, they typically are just like, oh, he's just selling somebody else's books. But if they know that you're the author, they're more likely to engage with you and they're more likely
Yeah.
to take it home, even if it's not their genre. I've had people buy my books that don't read fantasy typically,
Yeah.
and then come back and be like, I really enjoyed this. This was actually
Yeah.
really good. And it's like, cool, thank you for coming back. But I've also
Yeah.
done cons now at this point, and that's a
Mm.
different animal because they
Yeah.
don't care that you're a local author.
Yeah.
Some of those people are coming in from a couple hours away. Some of them are like, they're just nerds. So your pitch
Yeah.
has to be different if you go to like a con or some
Mm.
sort of thing like that. Again, I'm a fantasy author, so that's more of my market. If you write romance or you write, thrillers, maybe you're not going to the con, but
Mm.
the pitch there is that you have to try and find that um, pop culture reference
Yeah.
that will speak to people, and you have to like if your books are D&D inspired, like lean hard into that, man,
Yeah.
because like you can get the
Russell
D&D nerds at
Carroll.
your
Russell
table.
Carroll. Russell
Exactly.
Carroll.
Like make it evident visually that that's what it is. I had a lady behind me at one con that was she wrote like steampunky pirate fantasy, and she was like leaning hard into the Pirates of the Caribbean, and
Mm.
she sold a lot of books, and I was like, I was having a hard time because I was like, I don't know what to lean into from a pop culture reference, so I need to work on that myself. But that was the seems to be the pitch, is like you got to find your audience of the right kind of nerd.
Yeah. That's
And then
it.
lean hard into the pop culture reference, because again, they don't care that you're the local author as much as
Yeah.
like the lady at the maker's market does.
Yep.
Yeah, my where my dad lives up in, it's a kind of a little bit of a semi-rural town. It's a like a lakeside town with one road in, one road out. But they used to have markets once a month, and there was an author, two authors that lived in the town, one of poetry and one of historical fiction. And
Hmm.
without fail, every single month they were there, selling their books, and I would talk to them occasionally, and they'd be like, "Yeah, we do more business here than we do through Amazon, and it's just
Yeah.
people wanting to support local authors." So that's 100% right. It's a perfect thing to do if you're in an area where they do something like that. Jump on it.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that next month. I'm planning, because we got a local one, but it's a bit pricey because it's like you've got to pay for the spot, which is pretty. It's like $80. Um,
Yeah.
and then you got to get insurance, like what we call public liability insurance, which is about $150 a month. Oh, not a month, a year. So that's not too bad. But then you got to, hope and pray that you actually sell enough to cover that,
I was gonna say, like, you gotta, if you're paying that a year, you might like I'm committing to going to more than one of these a month.
Yeah. Well,
Like I gotta make it worth it.
there is not a town in Australia without without a market. Like, so I could quite
Yeah.
easily just, travel half an hour
We've
or
had we've had a few Aussie authors on here that say, the Canberra markets are
yeah,
pretty good, to sell at. Like they do a lot of business. Like a couple of authors we've spoken to have, taken a whole bunch of books down there and just sold
sold them
out
all.
completely.
Yeah. Uh,
So that might be a go for you, man.
yeah. No, because I can't remember his name, but he's got the Molten Flux series. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I think he sold like 500 books in like uh 2-3 days
yeah.
just by
That's
going down there.
crazy.
I'm just like, that's insane. So
I will say, like I have, run the gamut. I think the most I paid for a table was like $175 for a weekend at
wow.
a like a writer's event. I've never not made back my table. So
Oh, that's
as of
good.
now,
Hmm.
like
Knock
I
on wood.
try and keep it cheap if I can, but like yeah, knock on wood, like I feel pretty it seems very achievable to at least pay for your
Hmm.
table. Now that doesn't mean that it pays for the fact that you bought popcorn from the popcorn
Yeah.
guy or like the
Yeah.
artisanal bread.
Yeah.
Um that'll do you in every time.
Yeah.
So, and the time that you spent sitting there, but I actually enjoy
Yeah.
like talking to people.
Yeah.
I like that. So I have no problem. Like people come up and they'll talk to me about writing or whatever. And I enjoy that. So
Yeah. Cool. So do
So do you
you,
find,
sorry, go
sorry,
on.
Jamie,
No, you go, Ron.
I was just going to say, do you find that you do more? So, when you go to the cons that are specific, maybe fantasy related or, fantasy and sci-fi related, do you still think you do more business at the local markets, like local
I
farmers
actually do. Yeah,
markets,
I
than you do at cons?
in in Mike's, I have not done a bunch of them. I'm actually doing a few more this year, planned at least. So I'll get a better idea for some of the bigger ones because I've gone to mostly like their smaller cons, like so they're
Mhm.
cheaper,
Yeah.
but there's less people walking through them.
Yeah.
So, that's the trade-off. So I'm going to a couple of the bigger ones to see. I did go to a writers event. I will say about that when you are one book in the sea of endless options of books, that was probably my hardest event.
Mhm.
Like it was very hard to differentiate yourself or like I'm one of 50 sci-fi or sci-fi fantasy authors here somewhere. So like I don't
Yeah, I
know,
get
but
you.
so that was a tough one, though I did pay for my table. And the farmers markets like surprisingly like that's been like the best from a return on investment. Like I can set the tables are the cheapest and then like the engagement is the strongest because they are like it really does people like to know that there is somebody local that's an author and they want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And they will buy your like if you have a series, they'll buy the whole darn series
Hmm.
just from a conversation, which is great.
So do you
Hmm,
do extra
that's awesome.
stuffs at your stores? Like, do you do bookmarks and other things as well as just your
So
books?
I've branched out as I've done like the whole year as learning
Hmm.
and stealing ideas from other people. Like my books,
Mhm.
I commissioned fancier maps. So originally it was just like I drew my own incarnate map. And that was the map that was in my books, but then I actually had somebody who like works with cartography
Yeah.
program, and make something cooler. And so I actually have those printed out, and apparently, like, there's a market for fantasy maps. Like, people will just buy your map.
Yeah.
They don't
People,
care about the book.
people
They
love
just like
maps.
fantasy maps.
Yeah.
Not our regular guest Danny Cormack, but people do like maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Fine.
like maps. So,
Jeez, that.
so yeah, that I've printed up maps. I've printed up like the paintings of my covers, some of my
Cool.
covers, so that you can buy the print of the cover without the text on it if
Yep.
you
Cool.
like the
Done the
the
same.
image.
Yeah.
Um, I've actually made the last one I went to, I made bath bombs. Like dragon egg bath bombs.
Oh, that's
And
nice. That's awesome.
old ladies came over and they were happy to buy my dragon egg bath bombs. So that was fun. I was like, I got a little niche market going on. But other than that, it was mostly the book. So I'm trying to get my mom, she quilts stuff, and I'm trying to get her to do like book sleeves, like Kindle sleeves or book
Oh,
sleeves that are quilted. I thought that would be good for the craft fair
Mm.
specifically.
yeah.
Like if you're trying to think of like where you're going, it's like maybe not at the cons, nobody's going to care about that, but like the old ladies at the craft store or the craft show, they're going to like your Nana's quilted,
Yeah.
book sleeve.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. That's that. Yeah, my local markets is quite literally just food and trinkets. You
Yeah.
know. So me
Like
rocking up
there's
might be
going to
all
be
right.
somebody there with the 3D printed dragons, it's somebody
Yeah. Yeah. Or there's one I always see everywhere. Every market
tumblers.
I ever see, it's like the timber with the like they burn like something into the timber to make, oh, look at this
Yeah.
little, yeah, like that thing. I miss our flippin' we had this medieval festival called Iron Fest.
Mhm.
That'd be fun.
You'd have to drive over the mountain, so it's probably about an hour and 15 minutes from where I live to get over the Blue Mountains to the other side to this like big showground where there was very hardly any police. Let's just say that. There was like no police presence, but everyone had medieval weaponry and, and all that stuff. But it started with just the medieval fighting, jousting, and then they brought in the Civil War reenactments, World War II reenactments, and then cosplay, and it was just this massive um just a festival of everything and everything nerdy, and it was so cool. And I would have loved to, sold books there, but it shut down because COVID killed it. But I want it back. I want it back. Cool. Are we ready to play our game? Are we ready to play our game?
I'm always ready.
Oh, have you seen this floating around, Jessica? Our story pitch game over X.
I've played a version of a story pitch game. I don't know if it's the same one, but I had fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll bring up the graph so you know what's going on, or our audience knows what's going on. Story pitch. Okay, I just got to find my graph because it's yes. All right. Sweet. So the game is called Story Pitch. Essentially, you're going to give us 4 numbers between 1 and 12 for each of these categories. We will give you what they are, essentially, because it all correlates to a graph, a secret graph that me and Ryan have access to, and then you got to pitch us a story. Like, picture us as Hollywood executives or trad publishing agents or whatever. They're going, all right, what are you selling us today? But you got to kind of do it on the spot. This is how He-Man came to be. They made something up on the spot. And so you never know what we're going to create today. So when you're ready for round number 1, give us 4 numbers between 1 and 12.
All right, let's do 7, 3, 9, and 5.
5. All
7,
right.
3, 9, and 5.
This is incredible because this is the first time we've had this one. We keep having overlaps, but
Yeah.
this is a first time your setting is a haunted house.
All right.
And your genre is something that you are very familiar with. It is fantasy.
Oh. Your your main character is a birthday clown.
Oh boy.
And your crazy addition, which is something that has to appear in the story, is Bigfoot.
Bigfoot or a Yeti, any iteration of Bigfoot
Like
would be fine.
Sasquatch, Bigfoot,
Sasquatch,
yeah.
yeah.
All right, so I got my birthday clown
Yep.
in a fantasy setting or haunted house. Well, I mean,
Yeah. It's a
I got
birthday clown
ideas now.
it's a birthday clown in a haunted house. That it has to be fantasy, and Bigfoot is there. Now Bigfoot doesn't have to be there for the whole lot. He can literally just pop in and say hello, but he's got to be there. That's all.
Perfect. All right. So I got to pitch this to you, right?
Yep. Pitch us a
Yep.
story.
All right. Picture this. We have a wonderful Pacific Northwest rainforest, big pine trees, and within there is this house. It's Victorian with the spires and the gingerbread and all that fancy stuff, but it's it's old. And our birthday clown has been contracted to come
Mm.
and host a party at this
Okay.
address. And so he's going to drive up through, into the mountain area, into the forest, and he gets to this place and he says, "Oh no. Like this can't be right. Like I am here to make balloon animals and sing to little children, and this is not what I had in mind. Where are the children?" So he's not sure that he's got the right address. He's going to get out of his vehicle. He's going to roam around the area for a while and see if there's some mistake. But then he hears voices. They're little children's voices. And he says, well, all right. I guess maybe in fact this is where we are going to have our party. And so he follows the voices into the backyard. Well, there are a lot of children, but they're ghostly children. And they are glowing and blue and wispy and whatnot. And they're running around and they see him and they're all excited. And he's like, well, I'm kind of terrified, but at the same time, this could be exciting. So while he's there, he gets out his kit of stuff and he says, well, I mean, they're going to pay me, right? So he's got to get his stuff out. He's going to make some balloon animals. And then he's trying to hand off the balloon animals, but the kids can't hold them because they're ghosts. They just fall right through their hands. But then the children bring him the magic kit so that they can play with him.
Yeah.
And he's going through this and he's having a good time with these ghostly children when there's a sound out in the wilderness behind the house. And in fact, because it is the Pacific Northwest in the forest, there's a Bigfoot monster. And it turns out that this Bigfoot monster has been tormenting the children. And so they tell him that they need his help to fend off this monstrous foe that has been disturbing them and preventing them from resting. And so they give him a magic sword. And he's sent out into the forest to go slay the Bigfoot monster to protect the ghostly children that he has now made friends with from playing games and hosting a party. And he manages to wield his magic sword with fury and fight off the Bigfoot, and he is victorious at the end. And then the children can all rest. And he can go home.
See, I would have just had Bigfoot pay the check.
I mean, Bigfoot could have paid the check, but it's a fantasy. You got to have some sort of sword fights and magic.
No, that was epic. We just lost Ryan. I think his internet probably cut out. He'll be back in a second. I guarantee it. But no, that was fantastic. Who would you cast as your birthday clown?
Oh, I don't know actors' names because I'm terrible at this game.
The guy from something.
Oh my gosh,
Stewart?
that would be funny. He's a little old though,
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, put makeup on him.
Into like the AI de-aging. He's very dramatic, but I don't know. You need like a. You could go like cheap and just be like, oh, I'll cast Will Ferrell as the birthday clown.
He'd play a good clown. I do like.
He would be a good clown.
I do love his Eurovision movie. Have you seen Eurovision? The one he did?
I have not.
It's one of those rare gems because it's actually pretty heartfelt. But he plays a it's got Rachel McAdams as well, but they're like an Icelandic band that want to go to Eurovision and they get in by a technicality. It's so funny and it's pretty heartfelt. But and he had to do a reasonable good job of it because Will Ferrell's wife is Swedish and their whole family love Eurovision, so he kind of had to not take too much of the piss out of it.
You have to treat it with respect.
Pretty much. Oh, here he is. And he's back. Did your internet cut out, Ryan?
He's just sad because he missed the epic Bigfoot battle.
Yeah. He's switching his speakers back on. Ryan.
Okay, I apologize for that.
That's all right.
My internet just is crap, so.
Yeah.
But I'm back.
You're back. There was an epic Bigfoot battle with.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Ghostly children. Got to protect the ghostly children.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love Bigfoot. I love anything to do with big, like one of the authors that I follow on X, another indie author. She wrote YA, but it's all about Bigfoot, and it was like $3.99. I bought that bad boy. I love anything to do with cryptids and big boy,
Big boy.
Bigfoot. Bigfoot, anything like that. Loch Ness Monster, you name it. If you want me to buy your book, even more, just write something like that. So I love it.
Excellent. All right. Before Ryan's internet cuts out, let's do one more story pitch before we wrap the show up. Um, so Jessica, you can
Yeah.
give us the same numbers because it's a new graph, or you can give us new numbers. It's completely up to you.
No, we'll do new numbers. Let's do 12,
Mm-hmm.
6, 7, because
Yeah.
why not? And 2.
2.
So 12, 6, 7, and 2.
Yeah, that's it. All
Okay,
right.
there's a few new things on this one, so
Excellent.
I like it.
But the non-new thing is your setting is the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
All right.
And your genre is urban fantasy. So still in the fantasy zone, but just a bit more urban.
So, urban stuff in the Bermuda Triangle. Your main character. Wow, we've had
Is
this a
our
lot.
favorite popular one.
He keeps coming back. He's a sommelier or a wine taster.
And your crazy addition, which is something that must appear in the story, is a sentient cactus.
That's a, very, very specific.
Well, I mean, it's good because the Bermuda Triangle, it's like anything and everything can happen there.
We don't know
So,
what's there, so
yeah,
yeah.
like a sentient
Yeah, that's
cactus
very true.
coming from the Bermuda Triangle is not unexpected.
Yeah.
All right. So our lovely wine taster, we're going to call him Paul because, that seems
Paul the wine. That reminds me of Friends.
snooty.
Paul the wine guy.
Paul the wine guy. He was on his way flying back from Napa Valley.
Oh,
Um, I guess, I don't know, to Florida, maybe. I don't know how to get to the Bermuda Triangle. Maybe he's going to Brazil. I don't know. He's going somewhere new to try some new fancy wine. And his plane happened to get uh, con distorted by there was a storm. So the storm blows up, and poor Paul is, the not controls, but the navigation's spinning, and the pilot's trying to figure out where they're going, and they end up going into a fog somewhere over the ocean. And then everything goes haywire, and the plane has to set, they see a track of land. There's some land ahead somewhere, so they figure it's probably like Cuba or some island, whatever. We gotta land somehow, or else they'll crash into the sea, and that would be terrible. So the pilot announces that they're going to make an emergency landing on whatever land this is, and it could be a rough. And Paul gets his bag and hugs it because it's full of this wonderful Napa Valley wine. And he can't stand the idea that it might get broken in a crash. So he's hugging his bags, and they land, and it's dramatic because they have to land, and it turns out they're landing in the middle of like this city. And it's like a road. And they're like, what in the world kind of place is this? But, they manage to only lose the wheels, and they kind of crash into the city, and he gets out, and there's an opportunity here to explore a new place and figure out where he is. And, he's like, maybe we need an EMS or something. Like, but they're walking around, and they notice that like all the people seem very strange. They're kind of walking in a daze. Like they don't even seem to notice that he's there with the plane, and that's very odd. So he grabs his bottles, and he's buckling on his backpack so that he can walk around and try and figure out what's going on. And he's trying to ask the people if they, know where they are or can help him, or do they even speak English. And they don't respond, and it's very strange. So he ends up walking around the city, and it turns out that the city is being controlled by a malevolent cactus
Ooh.
in the middle of their central park. And the cactus has sucked all the life out of the place by putting up a big, like, magic dome that keeps the rain from falling and keeps it very dry, because the cactus does not like the tropical area of the Bermuda Triangle that it happens to occupy. So it's using its magic to keep everything dry, and the people are all just so parched that they don't know what to do. But Paul has a solution, because he has a bag full of wine bottles. So to get a team of help, he sacrifices some of these wine bottles to these very, very thirsty citizens of the city so that they can help him with their liquid courage to defeat the cactus.
So basically, everyone just gets drunk and fight the cactus.
Fights the cactus.
Yeah.
And they go for the roots, man. They got to go for the roots.
It's a story no one will ever believe.
Yeah. Nice. I like it. I like it a lot.
Right. That's probably our best second, because a lot of people do really well in the first round, but then the second one gets a little more trickier. But that was probably my favorite second round.
Yeah, it definitely was my favorite. I like sentient cactus is always good for business.
Yeah.
He's evil, man. He wants to make everybody thirsty.
I know. Maybe he's got
Makes
small man
sense.
syndrome. It's just like, I just need to do this.
Well done. Well done. So yeah, I'll let everyone know. We are planning a episode which is just story pitch, but it's with a panel of four, essentially. Me and Ryan will judge them harshly, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got Rebecca Kearsells, our sponsor. She's coming on. She hasn't been on in a while. It's going to be great. We've got Sam Robb over at Raconter Press. He works with them. He was on recently. We've got David Cornford coming over, and we've got the wonderful Matthew J. Turner coming back. So we'll have we'll have three British people, but two of them will be on our shores, because they moved here. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to it.
Keep an eye out for that, guys. But let's do the wrap up. Jessica, the floor is yours to plug what you want to plug. Tell our wonderful listeners and viewers where they can follow you, keep up to date with what you're doing, and anything else that you want to share.
All right, so I'm probably most active on social media on X. Jessica_Barberi would be my handle there. I believe I also have an Instagram, which I barely post anything, but maybe one day I'll get 1,000 followers and be able to do something with it.
Yeah.
If you want to follow what I'm doing, I highly recommend that you check out my indie book release channel over on YouTube. I also post the lives on X, but I do my own little interview. I try and do some celebrations with some authors when their books release and give them a little press. So do come and enjoy those interviews. And then in addition, if you are interested in anything that I've written, you can find it, of course, on Amazon. But if you would like to navigate to any other, so if you don't want to support Amazon, most of my books are available elsewhere, so you can go to my website jessicabarberi.com, and links to buy will be available directly on the homepage of that website for all of the books. Again, it's more literary fantasy, character driven fantasy, whatever you want to call it. A little bit different maybe than what some of you are used to, but I really hope that, it seems like people like what I write, so come on down, check it out. Yeah.
And if you're in the Michigan area, head down to the farmers markets.
That's right. Yeah. I'm always happy to meet people in real life. I've met a few folks now, so that's been kind of fun.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, Jessica, again. And guys, all Jessica's links will be down in the show notes. Check that out. Support some indie authors. Check out our sponsors, Rebecca Kearsells, Martin Kearns. Our honorary sponsors, Janelle Schiecke and Alexander Robb. It's getting a lot difficult to remember all these names. All their links are down below. Buy Ryan's shirt. Make him feel...
Buy my shirt. Buy Jamie's books.
I always keep forgetting to say, I have books too. All my links are down there.
Check them out. And yeah, if you want to reach out, thetrueandthefictional@gmail.com. Until next time, keep supporting those indie authors, and we'll catch you on the next episode.